to be hosting our first annual State of CTE. On behalf of the college and Dr. Hartness, who could not be with us this morning, I would like to welcome you to the college. We are very excited to be having the conversations that we're going to have today and to be doing some of the panel discussions. We look forward to hopefully additional collaborations beyond what we already have. We are very fortunate as a community college to have such strong partners in our communities, school systems, employers, chambers. So, it's exciting that we're all here together, or some of us are participating online, and we do have a chat feature. So if you have questions or there are things you want us to talk about that you're not hearing, feel free to put that in the chat. We've got a couple people monitoring that. My name is Susan Burleson, and I've been at the college for almost 20 years, so I have worked with many of you in some capacity or another. I've also spent the last couple years in Davie County, so we have been very fortunate to have really strong partnerships in Davie County, and I know they exist in Davidson County as well. One of the things that we were able to do as part of our collaborations is to create a college promise program that's called Ignite Davie. And one of the things that we noted when we looked at data was that about 30% of the high school graduates were not going anywhere. They weren't doing anything post-secondary. Sometimes, there was knowledge that they had gotten jobs, but we know that the more education you get, the better your labor market outcomes. And we know that probably in that 30% of students who don't go anywhere, they're not looking to go get some type of 4-year liberal arts degree. I have one, so I'm not knocking it. But, they probably belong in some type of CTE pathway. And for whatever reason, they have not seen that to be their future. So we know CTE is certainly an area where students can earn family-sustaining wages. Sometimes it takes, a very short-term credential to get you there. Other times it might take just a little bit longer, but through partnerships, we can get a lot more students through that pathway. We also know, and one of the things we've really been looking at a lot at our college is, is there equity in outcomes? And so, we know that one of the few factors that consistently impacts generational poverty and the ability to get out of generational poverty is education. So I hope today we'll hear a lot of things from our students, from our school systems, from our employers, and we'll have great ideas that we'll take forward and impact the communities that we live in and the students that we serve. I would like to say thank you to Dr. Jonathan Brown and Dr. Christy Forrest, who is a little under the weather and is joining us virtually, for putting this together, for coming up with this great idea, and for getting all of you here in the room. If you're here and you've never been to the Davidson campus or to the Rittling Center, bathrooms are right back here. If you need caffeine different than what we have back there, then there are soda machines downstairs. Okay? So thank you for being here, and we look forward to a great morning.
Thank you, Dr. Burleson. As Dr. Burleson was saying, when I first joined the college, and I've been here right at a year, Dr. Forrest and I sat down and talked about, how do we align with our 4 LEA partners? And when we first started talking, we noticed that we all were doing great things, but then how do we work together to build a strong labor force in our service areas? So we have worked hard in the last year to come together. We meet quite frequently, and we discuss, what we're trying to do, what the school systems are doing, and how can we work together. I want to thank our LEA partners, our CTE directors, for one, for being here today, and 2, for your willingness to work with us. So we are very excited to do this. This is our first annual State of CTE, and we jumped it off because this month is National CTE Month. So when I say CTE, for those virtually, Career and Technical Education, to kind of give you an idea, we have over 40 programs here at the college. And of those 40 programs, I want to say 32 of them fall under our CTE umbrella. So the majority of our programs fall under us, so we're excited about that. And we want everyone to know the community college has to be the economic driver for this. Our partner school systems has to be a part of that too. How do we build this labor force? And as we all know, our labor market right now is, the best way to say it, it's upside down. We've never seen it the way it is. There's not a day I don't go by and get a phone call from somebody, I need this, and I need this. How are we going to meet the demands? So by doing this and aligning with our partners, I feel like we have a great plan moving forward that hopefully we can provide this labor market and this workforce for our communities. So I'm going to focus a little bit today about economic impact and how we serve our communities and the impact we are making. But our strategic priorities for us right now, I will say, Dr. Forrest and I also are creating currently a strategic plan in CTE. And to our knowledge, we're going to be the first college in North Carolina out of the Great 58 to actually have a strategic plan. And we feel like we've got to do that so we can, again, align with our partners, and two, have some goals and a mission and a vision for the future of our service areas. So some of the priorities that we have here, the first one is industry alignment. So one of the things that I've heard when I meet with companies, how do we meet the needs of them? And are our students, when they come in, are they ready to go from day one? So currently we are in a consortium with 8 other community colleges here regionally, and it's a part of a Department of Labor grant, and it's called the Awesome Grant. The idea behind that grant is we're going to focus on 4 areas right now. That is welding, machining, industrial maintenance, and electronic engineering. So within those 4 pathways, what we are doing is we're getting with companies regionally. We're bringing them to the table. Instead of being an advisory board, we're doing what we call a built model. So it's a business-led meeting. So we sit down and we step back and we listen to them. And we hear, this is what these students need when they come to our place from day one. So we're excited about that. Currently, we're building knowledge, skills, and abilities for our machining programs. And the goal of it is once we build those, we will implement that within our curriculum. And hopefully, regardless if they're coming from Alamance County, Montgomery, Guilford, Forsyth, Davidson, once they have these abilities and skills, those employers know, hey, they're ready to go. So again, now we're trying to do something at a regional effect with that. So we're excited about that work. We just currently jumped off this year. That'll be a 3-year partnership we have with that consortium, and we look to achieve some great things for our labor market. Our second priority, and I am very passionate about this, is work-based learning. And I tell companies all the time right now, how do we really get those young students? You got to get them early now. I don't know else how to say it. And our apprenticeship program is growing. We're excited about that. We have a consortium right now called the Davidson-Davie Apprenticeship Consortium, where we have 6 companies. We'll have our first graduating cohort this year. Excited about that. And this recruiting class, it grows each year. We're expected to take probably around 30 apprentices within that. Now that specifically focuses on EET, electronics engineering, and industrial maintenance. We're also growing our apprenticeships here currently in all areas. Health science is really big right now, and Dean Myers is a part of that. And Carolyn Davis, our division chair, is working hard to make more opportunities for other programs. And the reason I say that is you can get a younger student, they can come in, they can earn a wage while going to college, debt-free, and you are investing not only your time and your money, but they are investing in you too. And it is a win-win for everyone. So I highly encourage, if you are looking for opportunities for work-based learning, whether that's an apprenticeship, internship, or job shadowing, please see me. We can point you in the right direction. Again, I can't say it enough, and now we're trying to figure out how do we get into our middle schools and really start front-loading those conversations with those students at a younger age. Our third priority coming up, and we're still a couple years away, but we were very fortunate to receive some money from the General Assembly, and we're happy to announce that we will be building a public safety regional training facility here across the road on our west campus. So we're in the process now of interviewing architects. Once we have picked an architect, we'll start the design process, and this will give us unbelievable opportunities that we currently do not have here on this campus and our Davie campus. So within that, we're looking at ultra cold storage, mass vaccination sites. We're looking for our fire programs. Can we have fire towers, burn buildings, et cetera, our law enforcement and our EMS and our public health. So very exciting times coming up here in the next couple years when it comes to that. So as we sit here and think, I know every business and industry needs people, but really in our public safety sector, it is a challenge right now. If you're looking on the news every day, whether it's EMS, fire, or law, there is such a shortage right now. So we have to do something to address that. And then the final goal and priority that we have, and I really am passionate about this too, is economic development. Again, how do we really provide services for our communities that are sustainable? That's the biggest thing. So we're working hard on that. So I wanted to share some information with you just about the college and how we affect our two service areas in Davidson-Davie County. And I know it's probably hard to see the graph here behind me, but if you can see, the average associate's degree is going to earn around right now $32,000. But if you look, and this one kind of jumped out to me, we have in our service area around almost 84,000 jobs that we're a part of. Now, how do we supply all that? That's a lot. So we've got to figure that out. But our economic impact that we make in our service area right now, if we look at the Piedmont Triad area, our gross regional product is around $6 billion. So that's pretty large. And here at DDCC, excuse me, as you can see, these first two numbers I wanted to point out in the last year, credits served and our non-credit served. So what I really want to talk about is that one on the right, or to my right, the non-credit served. You know, we had over 6,229 credits. So we're talking about our short-term training. How do we get them here, and how do we train them in less than a year and get them out to the workforce? So we're really growing in that. Some of our overall results, and when you look at it, the college, along with our partners, because every LEA that we have in here sends us students every day, we're providing over $133 million to our service area as an economic impact. So a drop in the bucket when you really look at the total, but we're growing and we're supporting over 2,600 jobs, as you can see. From an operations standpoint and impact, it's up to $25 million in supporting over 600 jobs. From the student spending impact, for the students we have to our local service area, over $3 million. And then from an alumni perspective, $104 million. So as you can see, the college is obviously having an effect on our two service areas. The one thing I wanted to point out here on this slide is we can see the impacts in the job industry. Obviously job supported, our public administration, but the very bottom one there, and I know it's tough to see, talks about manufacturing. And the reason I wanted to point that out, it only says right now 173, but we're growing. If you've been reading the news here recently, we have a mega site coming, not to us, but to Randolph County. However, we're going to have to take a regional approach in how we supply those jobs. So everybody will have a piece of that. So again, as you can see, we have a lot of work to do. This one, to me, is really interesting from a student's perspective. So for every dollar spent that the student spends here, there's a return of $5, 5 to 1. But the rate of return for all of our programs is 27.1%. So to put that in perspective, in the last 30 years, the return on the stock market is around 10%. So I tell students all the time, your education is your money, and there's a great example that when you come to the college and you enroll in a program, a 2-year program, you've got a rate of return that you can't get in the stock market. That's really amazing to me. And then from the taxpayer perspective here, you know, you've got a benefit of over $52 million. And the social perspective, 500. and 59 million. So again, really interesting numbers there. And with that, from the college side, as I say, our goals as we move forward, again, is to work with our partners, build a strong workforce, and really develop our programs. And as we look into the future, a lot of times in education, we can't see what's coming up. So we need that help from our business and industry. So that's why we value the partnership with them. So if you have any questions, I will be around, and feel free to chat stuff in the chat box, and we can answer any questions. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Anthony Davis.
So I would like to thank the community college for this opportunity to come and share what we're doing. I know that we, as CTE directors, get to talk to each other a lot, but we don't always get to talk with people outside of this. We get to communicate a lot with our community college partners. Again, I can't say how much I appreciate this opportunity to share what's going on in our LEAs, our districts, and specifically for me in Davie County. My name again is Anthony Davis. I'm the CTE director at Davie County Schools. I've been in this position just almost 4 years, and when I came in here, we were trying to figure out what direction we wanted to go. We needed to find out some goals for our CTE program, and the community college was a big part of that. And as talking with Dr. Brown, Dr. Burleson, and discussing some of these things with them, trying to make that alignment happen, and that's one of the goals that we had in Davie County. Our main focus to begin with was work-based learning. When I first started in Davie County, we had very few students that were involved in any kind of work-based learning outside of the actual class. We had several students that were doing work-based learnings through their classes, whether it was through clinicals or on-site training with carpentry and masonry, but outside of that, we really weren't doing a lot of internships. So we have been able to develop that and figure out a way for us to get out there. And of course, as Dr. Brown said, this was a perfect storm for us, because when you look at the labor market right now and trying to figure out that they need people to work. And so businesses are coming to us and wanting to know, how can we get people into our businesses? How can we get young people, again, at an early age, into our businesses so that they are future employees for us and we can get them their training they need and that sort of thing. So as you look in Davie County, we have actually, I listed just a few current internships that we have available in Davie County. We have medical, that goes for adult care, CNA, whatever the case may be there. We are working very hard with our construction trades partner. Davie Construction is a big partner with us, some local electricians, and we have students working there. We're also working with our local government. They actually provide a lot of good opportunities for local government to have students to go in and work with them, whether it be in a job shadowing or an official internship, and you have students that are learning the different parts of local government. So that's a big thing for us as well. We actually are using our own maintenance department in Davie County Schools. We have students working with some of our folks in our maintenance department, learning the different things. And you know, a maintenance department in a school system, they do everything. So it's really a wide range of things that they're able to do there as well. You go on down advanced manufacturing, that's something we've had a lot of conversations with Carrie Smith here at the community college, and talking about what can we do to help with machining, because he says, you know, as soon as I get a student that's finished, they're picked up. I mean, somebody's grabbing them for a job. So what can we do to build that up, especially on our Davie campus, and get students funneled that way? And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But we do have some students involved in advanced manufacturing internships, also with welding. That's a big program for us as well. And then more recently, we've been involved in some business and marketing internships as well. We have students working for local banks. We have students working for local accountants, things like that. So we're really opening up a lot of opportunities for students. And, you know, as Dr. Burleson mentioned, we've got to figure out a way to grab that 30%. Those students that don't really know what it is that they want to do. We have right now our career development coordinator at Davie County High School, Elise Woolwich. She's doing a great job of going out and seeking students that are, especially in their senior year, that may have a short course load. So they may only have 3 classes. Well, what are you doing with that other class? Are you just leaving campus after third period and then going home? Well, let's put you in an internship, so that way we can start a possible career for you and find a way for you to be successful and contribute in the future. So those are some of the things we're trying to do from the work-based learning perspective and really trying to grow that. In fact, I have to give kudos to Elise because she's basically quadrupled the number of internships that we've had just in about a year and a half. So that's really a big thing for us and really a good focus for us in Davie County. The other thing, again, another partnership with the community college here is our fire and EMT. One of the things that I was approached with when I first took over as CTE director, our fire marshal at the time approached me talking about the need for these two programs, fire and EMT. So immediately the community college began talking with us, how can we make this happen? How can we help fill this gap? And again, you can see the numbers there that between 30 and 40%, especially in our volunteer fire departments, those folks are retiring. They're going to be done, and there's nobody left to fill that. Well, that's kind of one of those things in the community that we sit back and say, well, that's not a major impact. Well, if your house catches on fire, you'll know what kind of major impact that is. So we need to make sure that we understand that some of these things may not be an immediate thing that we see in front of us, but when that need is there, then we understand it very, very clearly. So that's just one of those things that we decided to figure out a way that we could help fill that gap. So we were able to get EMT started pretty quickly. And I think we've had 2 classes to go through EMT, and then we're continuing to work on our fire, and hopefully our fire academy will be started pretty soon. You can see here that what the EMT course, what it offers. And again, it gives those students, once they graduate from high school, turn 18 years old, they can sit for the North Carolina or the national exam for EMT. And then for Fire Academy, you can kind of see the same thing. This outlines the course load there. And we have a lot of students who are very, very interested, which I'm very thankful of, that are very interested in the Fire Academy because, again, I think the word is getting out to our local fire departments that this opportunity is there. Once the students graduate, they have one thing that they have to sit for, one additional course, and then they're certified. So it's really a possible way to build up not only our volunteer fire departments, but also as a career in fire as well. And we're hoping eventually that we will have students that when they graduate will be able to be both EMT and fire certified right after graduation. That's our hope, and as we continue to grow that. So what does the future of CTE look like for Davie County Schools? We are going to continue, of course, to grow our work-based learning opportunities. We want to grow our student organizations. That is something that I think COVID has hit us all really, really hard on that, with our students not being able to go out and actually participate in competitions and doing things like that. That's one of those things that we want to continue to build that back up. I feel like in Davie County, we're in a pretty good place with Skills USA. I don't think that's dropped off as much. Our FFA program has really continued to thrive, but some of the other CTSOs that are out there, they're not growing nearly as much. So we definitely want to continue to grow that and show students, again, those pathways that are available out there. I can speak for my own children. I have a daughter who is at NC State right now, and she was very heavily involved in HOSA, but she did not go in the medical field. But she says to this day that the things that she learned in HOSA helped her when she had to go through scholarship interviews and things that she's doing in school right now. So that's one of those examples that maybe she didn't go in that pathway, but it was the skills that she learned there really helped her a lot. The other thing that we're trying to focus on, and Major Clarity is one of the partners that we are using right now for this, is to help us with our professional skills or soft skills. I think recently I heard a state superintendent call them durable skills. So when you look at those things, those are skills that regardless of what area a student goes into or what pathway they go into, we really need to make sure that those students have the skills to be able to work in a team, that they know how to communicate, show up to work on time, all those things that are very, very important for them to be successful. So we're continuing to do that. One of the things that I'm very excited about in Davie County, again, COVID really kind of put us behind on this, is a project that we have going on called Project Sunburn. And this is one of those neat collaborations that actually occurred from a lunch conversation between teachers. And what they did is that you had a math teacher, science teacher, auto tech teacher, drafting teacher. You had several different people at the table, and they decided they all love racing. That was one of the things they had in common. So they said, well, why don't we work with students to try to get a solar-powered race car so we can talk about what's going on with renewable resources, but also having an end result or an end in mind. So they're working right now with Cape Fear Community College and with Appalachian State University on trying to create a high school solar-powered race team. Now, again, that happened just before COVID hit, and we were making really good progress. And then it hit, and you know what happened after that. So we're trying to get that back up off the ground and get that going again. And we hope to have an operating solar-powered race car by at least the middle of next school year. So that's something we're very excited about, and our teachers are very excited about, and our students are. And in fact, we're inviting back the students that have already graduated that started the program to try to help us continue that along, at least when they're home from college and that sort of thing. And the last thing I want to talk about really quickly is mechatronics. Again, as Dr. Brown said, in talking about the pathways that we're trying to do with advanced manufacturing here at the community college, I hear, you know, machining, electrical engineering, those sorts of things. As we talk about those things, in Davie County, we were trying to figure out how can we help that. And one of the ways that we're going to try to help it is starting a Mechatronics Pathway, which will begin next school year. We were able to hire a teacher who is going to specialize in that area, along with robotics, and we're hoping to really be able to build that program with the ultimate goal of, again, feeding the community college and ultimately feeding our labor market, where I know in Davie County we really need a lot of folks in advanced manufacturing. So I thank you for your time. If anybody has any questions for me, again, I'll be around as well. Again, my name's Anthony Davis in Davie County Schools, and again, I thank the community college for this opportunity and for all the partnerships that you guys have with us.
At this time, I'd like to call Kim Sexton, CTE Director, Davidson County Schools.
Good morning. I am Kim Sexton, the CTE Director for Davidson County Schools, and I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to share with you what we are doing in Davidson County Schools to help prepare our students for the workforce in our region. So I kind of want to start at the beginning. You know, one major focus for Davidson County is to start at the middle school level. Research shows that students really start developing their interest in learning about the careers that are available to them at that middle school level. So we have really started to take a look at what our program offerings are at the middle school level and deciding, do we still need to stay with the technology and the business and the family consumer sciences that we have in the past? DPI has done a very good job of opening other pathways, such as electrical trades and health science, that we can actually explore at that middle school level. And you don't have to have a certification in those areas to teach those courses. So that teacher can truly explore those pathways with those students, which then align with the pathways that we offer at the high school level. Also with that alignment, we are working to align our high school pathways with the community college pathways and show that alignment to our students. My ultimate goal is that a student will take courses their freshman and sophomore year in our building and then can take their CCP courses at the community college and already be that far ahead when they graduate to be able to be job and career ready. So I'm very excited about that. Another area of focus is credentials for all students. So with the passing of our state budget in November, each LEA got additional funding for credentials for students. So I am thrilled about this because it does give us an opportunity to expand our credential offerings. So I am going far and beyond what I've had to offer in the past or been able to offer in the past. And now I'm actually going to hopefully be offering some employability skill modules and credentials to our middle school students. Again, starting early, because once a student gets to high school in their sophomore, junior year, they've already made up their mind if they've made a decision at all. So it's very important that we start these conversations earlier. We're also expanding our work-based learning. I know that you've heard from Mr. Davis, you've heard from Dr. Brown, that is a huge focus for them as well as Davidson County Schools. A student doesn't really know what they want to do until they see it and they get their hands on it. We are a generation of, you've got to show it to me for me to believe it. Don't just tell me on paper, don't send me to a website. Pictures are okay, videos work to some extent, but our goal is to get our kids in those situations and in those areas. So we are expanding our job shadowing opportunities, we're expanding our internship opportunities, and we are also working with those industries and businesses that have apprenticeships to develop pre-apprenticeships. And what this does is it allows a high school student to get a high school credit for the pre-apprenticeship, but also work toward their hours for that apprenticeship with that business. So that will shorten the amount of work on the job training or hours that they have to do, and so they're already ahead of the game. So we have partnered with Brasscraft in Thomasville as well as R.D. Graham Electric in Greensboro, and so I'm really excited. We only have 2 this spring in a pre-apprenticeship, but everybody has to start somewhere. So if you are interested in that apprenticeship piece, please contact me because I would love to partner for that pre-apprenticeship as well. Another focus for us is really taking a look at the pathways that we're offering. You know, are we offering these pathways just because the teacher likes to teach that pathway? Are we offering the pathway just because the students will sign up for that? Or are we offering the pathway because that's what our business and community needs? So in stepping back and listening to our business and industry, Davidson County Schools is developing a pathway to start next year for early childhood development. So we know that it is very difficult for parents to work if they can't find childcare. Childcare centers are struggling to get folks to work there too. However, we've got a lot of interest at the high school level for that particular area. So we are starting that pathway at 2 of our high schools beginning next year. We also have the Public Safety Academy, which is at 2 of our high schools, and we are offering that Fire Academy, just echoing what Mr. Davis talked about, because our volunteer firemen are aging out. You know, my husband actually is a volunteer fireman, so I see that from his perspective. And, you know, when you have a fire call and you only have a handful of people show up, it makes it very challenging to put those fires out. We're also expanding our robotics program to include 3 schools instead of just 2. So we're very excited about that. And again, the vertical alignment with the community college. We are also working to ensure that every student that's enrolled in a CTE course does have a viable career development plan as well as an academic plan. So students can actually start planning their academics and their schedules for the following year before they even see registration materials. We have found that a lot of times those conversations with students take place just at registration time, and by that time it's too late. So this year we have full-time CDCs in every high school, which is something brand new for Davidson County, and I've had principals tell me, Kim, I have no idea how we did what we did with part-time. So having those full-time CDCs has made a huge impact in those conversations with students. So in Davidson County Schools, we are very excited about what the future holds. I look forward to the partnerships that we're able to develop and the bright future for our workforce and the skills that we get to help those students develop. Thank you.
I'd like to call Nicole Pickett from Lexington City Schools, CTE Director, at this time.
Right. Good morning, everyone, and happy CTE month. My name is Nicole Piggett, and I'm the CTE Director for Lexington City Schools. I have been in this position for, I'm doing this. Okay, great. I have been in this position, it'll be 11 years in April, so I can't believe it. It has just absolutely flown by. But some of the things that my colleagues have said, you know, we're doing some great things in this region, and a lot of it is because of the community college. Davidson-Davie Community College has been an excellent partner for all of us, and ever since I've been here, you know, we call, we email, and, you know, they're right back. We're gonna see what we can do. Matter of fact, Alyssa Wall, she's not here this morning. I thought she would be here. She's our liaison, and I called her yesterday. We have a teacher leaving, and I was like, you know, is there any way you all could possibly help us out with, you know, kind of filling that gap? And she was right on it. So I just want to say thank you to the community college for always being a wonderful partner with however we need you. So again, some of the things that we've already discussed, we have going on in Lexington as well. So I won't talk about some of those things, but we too have a public safety academy, and as Anthony said, you always need more firefighters. And so we begin with public safety, and then we go into the fire academy. We have had this program, this is our 3rd year, and 3 years ago we had a career fair, and the fire department chief at the time, he was like, you know what, I'm getting ready to retire, and you know, the city of Lexington, we always need more firefighters, and it's like, this is interesting. So we began to look at, you know, the need for firefighters in our area, in our region, and it was like, oh wow, there is a need there. And so I asked him, I was like, well, would you be willing to come and, you know, teach these classes? And he was like, absolutely. So Chief Hartley came, and he has made a tremendous impact on our program at Lexington City Schools. He started the program, and this year we were so excited. The city of Lexington donated one of their fire trucks to our program, and so these are some of our students standing in front of the fire truck that was donated. So they're getting those real world experiences. You know, they have the real gear that firefighters use, and he's just taking all of his 30 plus, I think, years of experience and pouring it into our students. We're even recruiting female students to be firefighters, and he says that those are some of his best students. So we are very proud of that, and our students are really excited about that. They're earning credentials in fire, so we hope to really expand that program and work with the community college, again, as they work to have a public safety and fire as well. Last year, we began offering cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity is a growing field, and I don't know if anyone in here has ever been hacked or had their bank account hacked, credit cards. I know I did a couple months ago, and it's not a fun experience. So there is definitely a need for cybersecurity professionals everywhere. Every company has people on their teams that work with cybersecurity and try to prevent those threats. So 2 years ago, we wrote a grant, a Golden Leaf grant, to begin a cybersecurity academy. And so we received that grant. They gave us over $194,000 to buy computers, provide field trips for students to businesses and industries, certifications. And the community college also, again, partnered with us to create a pathway for our students to begin at the high school and then matriculate here at the community college to complete that pathway. So we are very excited about that. So of course, you know, I said it started, last year was our first year, and so of course we had all of COVID. So we're hoping now that things are a little bit back to normal, we can make sure that we are exposing our students to some of those opportunities. Actually was just in contact with North Carolina A&T. They have begun a huge cybersecurity program, and so we're hoping to partner with them as well to give our students some more opportunities in that particular area. All right, this summer we are excited because we are wanting to offer our students an opportunity to do internships. Again, with COVID, we have not been able to allow our students to do internships, and you know, businesses, rightfully so, you know, we're not able to have them come in and do job shadowing and internships and so forth. However, this summer, our goal is to have at least 40 students in businesses and companies in our area to do internships, and we are hoping to pay them, right? A lot of our students, well, they work year-round, but especially in the summer, and so we're hoping that being able to pay them will really entice them to come in and get this experience with these companies and organizations. We'll have them come in with us first before they go out to the businesses to do some of the essential skills training, interviewing, writing resumes, and things of that nature. So if your organization would be interested in hosting an intern this summer, please take your phone out and scan right here, and it will take you to a document where you can put in your information. If you are watching via the internet, please make sure you give me a call in Lexington City Schools, and we would love to partner with you. We're looking for placements as we speak. And so it's funny, Anthony talked about his maintenance department. We had a talk with our maintenance department just yesterday, and so they're going to host some interns for us this summer. So we are wanting our students to get out and just explore as many areas as possible. Okay, one of the other things that we are very proud of that has happened in the last 2 years, actually, we were not fortunate enough to have a full-time career development coordinator until 2 years ago. And so our person that served as our career development coordinator had 2 additional jobs in addition to being our CDC. So we wrote a grant and we were able to hire a full-time CDC. And like they said, having someone really devoted to career development coordination is just imperative today. And so actually have him here, Mr. Nathan Tangel. It has been a game changer in terms of what we're able to do with career development and also working with our CCP program here at the community college. Before last year, our numbers started increasing last year, even during COVID, but this is the most that we've had that have taken community college courses, while they're in high school. And so we are very proud of this. And one of the things that, in addition to Mr. Tangel's efforts, we were able to begin providing transportation and the books and materials for our students who are taking community college courses. And so just removing those barriers listed here has just been a game changer for our students. So we are proud of the fact that, they're able to go ahead and begin their college education if they choose to matriculate here at the community college or go on to a 4-year college or, begin trades. This is just a wonderful opportunity for all of our students. So we are looking to continue to grow this program, and again, wouldn't be possible without the collaboration of the community college. All right, and so our last thing, of course, we are celebrating CTE month this year, and we always do a community service project in correlation with CTE month, and so last year we collected food for Pastor's Pantry in Lexington. But this year we have food closets and backpack programs for our schools. So they are always needing additional food. So that's who our food will go to this year. So if any of you all are out and about, feel free to stop by any of our schools, our elementary, middle schools, high school, and you can drop off some food for our CTE month canned food drive, and it'll be helping the students throughout Lexington City Schools. And you can also follow us on Twitter. We post a lot of the things that we do with CTE at that Twitter site. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'd like to call Diane Roberts, CTE Director, Thomasville City Schools.
Good morning, good morning. Happy CTE month. I'm Diane Roberts, and I'm the Career and Technical Education Director for Thomasville City Schools. I'm here this morning to talk to you about some of our goals and some of our focuses at Thomasville City Schools for our CTE programs. One of our goals for Thomasville City Schools is to make sure that we're exposing our students to technical training skills and learning experiences that are relevant to real work experiences. We also want to focus and expose our students, not only the students that are attending four-year colleges and universities, but those students that are looking at working and also combining learning opportunities through community college programs, as well as those students that are looking to join military and also going directly into the workforce. So we want to make sure that our CTE programs at our high school actually impacts all of those students. Not only just that, like my colleague from Davidson County Schools shared with you, we want to start making those things aware, those programs aware for our students at the middle school level as well. We want our middle school students to be exposed to as many career pathway opportunities as possible, and making sure that they understand the alignment to what they're taking in the middle school, to our pathway programs that are being offered at our high school, as well as at our post-secondary opportunities here at the community college here in Davidson. Our CTE profile for our high school, we offer 8 career pathways: carpentry, entrepreneurship, general management, health science, culinary arts, sports and event marketing, travel tourism, and advanced manufacturing. We start this program off, and we start our CTE exposure off at our middle school through computer applications pathways, exploring technology pathways, which we utilize a Project Lead the Way platform with Gateway to Technology. Students are exposed to design and modeling, app creations, and innovative maker spaces. We also offer a family consumer science program through our middle school, and we're using a career ready lab that is really exciting for us, and I'll go into a little bit more detail later about what those programs are offering at that middle school level. And we also offer a career exploration. The career exploration program is one of those programs that we expose our students to all of those pathways that are available, all those career opportunities that students can start thinking about at the middle school level, so they can really have an idea of what they would like to go into when they reach the high school level. We also are collaborating with our student services department and our counselors. What they have been doing and what they are doing is working diligently with our middle school students in providing them with interest inventory processes and exams where they take an assessment that kind of gives them an idea of what their career interests are. And we're utilizing the same platform as my colleague from Davie County. We're using a platform called Major Clarity. And within Major Clarity are also some opportunities for them to be exposed to different types of careers and interviews with career experts in those fields that they're interested in. So we're very excited to be able to offer that to our middle school students as well. Some of the highlights for our CTE programs in Thomasville, one of the things that we do, and we want to provide those opportunities, like I said at the beginning, that we want to provide our students with opportunities through our CCP programs, our Career and College Promise programs through the community college here. We partnered with our Davidson-Davie Apprenticeship Consortium, which is the DDAC, providing those apprenticeship opportunities for our students. We really want to expand on our work-based learning opportunities with our students to really help them understand what they're doing in the classroom is a direct relevance to what they will be doing in the workforce. We are offering CT honors courses. We're also expanding and creating career and technical organizations for our students to give them that leadership ability and leadership skills that we know that is required and one of those essential skills that are necessary to be successful in the workforce. One of the things I want to really highlight is our health science program. Our health science program has always been a good program for Thomasville City Schools, but we have hired a new health science teacher, and she's been here, this is her second year, but she is bringing so much engagement and so much excitement to the program. Now our program is really expanding. She's actually started up our HOSA program again, our HOSA organization, student organization, and we have almost 30 kids 30 students that actually signed up and want to participate in HOSA. So we are very excited to offer that opportunity for our students. And another program that has really been instrumental for keeping our students interested and really engaged is our Culinary Arts program. Our Culinary Arts program, our students are able to provide opportunities for our staff to come in, and they prepare dinners and lunches for them. And really get that experience of real world kind of work opportunities and experiences that they would never, not normally have outside of the classroom. The photos that you see here is our HOSA and our health science students hosting a spring blood drive. They do 2 blood drives a year. They do one in the fall and one in the spring. Our culinary students, like I said before, they are offering opportunities for our staff to come in, and they prepare lunches and dinners for them as well. We also want to really expand our partnerships with our local industry and our local businesses to support our students and give them an opportunity to work outside of the school as well. So we're looking for a partnership with our local industry to really impact our students when we send them out to get that real world experience. Another program I want to highlight is our advanced manufacturing program. Through our advanced manufacturing program, our students will be exposed to opportunities to really align with the career pathways here that the community colleges are offering through our machining department. There are machining departments here, through the industrial maintenance departments. We were fortunate enough to get a Golden Leaf grant, a $200,000 Golden Leaf grant that really kind of kick-started this program for us at Thomasville City Schools. We are excited about really diving in and really providing opportunities for our local industry and providing students with an opportunity to be exposed to some real life experiences and opportunities that will really provide them with a great opportunity to make a substantial economic impact. So with advanced manufacturing, we are in the middle of a renovation project, which is kind of keeping us a little kind of behind the 8 ball here when it comes to really exposing our advanced manufacturing students to those work experiences. But as we move into next year, we're looking forward to really working with the community college to expand on this opportunity for our students. The career ready labs that I talked about at the middle school level, we are very excited about this. This happened pre-COVID. We went out to California to look at some programs that were being offered out there, and we thought that it would be a great fit for our students here at the middle school. Because we wanted to expose our students to career opportunities and at an earlier age at the middle school level, we thought this would be great programs to offer at the middle school here in Thomasville. If you look at some of the pictures here, we have a dentistry lab that our students are able to learn about dental hygienist opportunities that would be available for them, as well as home maintenance. We have a student here that was actually changing out a faucet and plumbing system for our sink. And if you look at the side of the picture here, you'll notice that they also have an opportunity to be exposed to electrical training as well. Our maintenance department also came over and assisted with us and supported our students in preparing and changing out these faucets, and really supported them in learning those new skills and opportunities. With their expertise, they offered some of the support and assistance, and they continue to do that. So we appreciate their time that they have given our students as well. We also have a early childhood module or career lab that we offer through the career ready labs at the middle school level, as well as veterinary medicine. So we are very excited about these programs and really exposing our students to career opportunities through the middle school. The other thing we're very excited about is our partnerships. We have had great partnerships, of course, through the community college. They have been there for every event that we've had, every business advisory meeting that we have had. And they're there whenever we need them. We can call them up, like my colleagues had said before. We're able to call our community college up and really ask for some assistance and some support, and they have always been available for us and have always offered their expertise in assisting us in make sure that we're expanding our programs and meeting our industry and partner needs. They have been there with our Hispanic family nights, our career fairs, as well as our curriculum nights as well. The DDAC, which is the Apprenticeship Consortium, they have also been very available to us to come in and actually speak to our students, and not only our students, but our faculty and staff as well. Because a lot of times we have a difficult time really expressing to, especially our core teachers, how important CTE is to the opportunities that are available for all of our students, not just the students that are on a track to just go into careers after high school, but those students that are also thinking about engineering degrees and those kind of things, that these opportunities through an apprenticeship program could be very beneficial for them. So we have been very fortunate to have those people come in and assist us in really sharing that information with all of our staff. So we want to continue those partnerships. And like my colleague said from Lexington, we are offering credential boot camp through our summer enrichment program this summer, and we're looking for partners. Community colleges has already agreed to partner with us with that endeavor. And we were looking for our local business and industry partners to come in and help us with that process as well. We want to expose our middle school students to all the opportunities that are available in our local area here, and also expose them to the pathways here at the community college. So we're going to do a lot of tours and events with them, as well as work with our high school students to get them certified and have them earn industry credentials. So if you're interested in partnering with us, then we're happy to hear from you. These are our focus areas, which are very important to Thomasville City Schools as a whole. We want to make sure that we are able to provide career awareness for our students, but not only our students, but our students and their parents. Because a lot of times it's hard to reach a student if you haven't reached a parent. And so sometimes that we forget about that parent piece, so we really want to concentrate on informing our parents as well as informing our students. So that's going to be one of our focuses as well. Increase our CTSOs, which is our student organizations. We want to make sure that we're increasing our participation, because students gain so many essential skills from participating in those student organizations, down from leadership to the ability to know how to speak and to communicate and to work in a team environment. So we want to continue that process. Partnerships and certifications, as I shared before, we really want to expand on our partnerships. We want our local businesses to know that our doors are open and we're willing to work with you. We're willing to provide you with opportunities to show our students what you have available for them and their parents, what's available for them and their families. I think that is important to keep and sustain our community and our economic development in this area. Our work-based learning experiences, like I said, again, we want to make sure that we are giving those students that relevant experience. And we want to ask for your assistance in that process. The community college is doing the same thing. We are all in alignment. As you have heard each one of my colleagues speak, and as well as the community colleges speak, you've heard the key terms and the alignments that we're all trying to make, and I think that's it speaks a lot of volume for our area that we are in collaboration with each other. We are working together to make this happen, and we are looking out for the best interests of our community here. Thomasville is wanting to graduate students career and college ready. We call it the 3 E's. We want our students to leave us either employed, enlisted, or enrolled. And that is our goal, and that is our focus for Thomasville City Schools. And not only I think for Thomasville City Schools, I think for this region. So thank you guys so much for having us present to you today and have this platform to really show you how important CTE is, not only to our students, their parents and families, but our entire community. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, a lot of exciting things going on in career and technical education. And at this time, I would like to transition to our student panel. So if our students would come up. And while they're getting set up, you know, I think it's important that we recognize one of the main goals of this event, excuse me, is, you know, we tell our story, because it's important, because if we don't tell our story, somebody else will. And so many times, you know, if it's on the internet, we say it's true. But again, as you can see, we are working hard as a group to align and to build a sustainable workforce. So we've asked several students today to come be a part of a panel discussion. I have several questions for them. Unfortunately, we had 3 other students, and they are not feeling well today, or could be they're a college student and it's Friday, I don't know. But we're excited to have our guest today, and then at the end, I do have some time built in for questions from either virtual or in-person attendees.
I will be graduated. I've enjoyed my time here so far. It's really nice. We have a great online program. The teachers at the BLET program are amazing. No offense to any other school, but they're the best. But yeah, there you go.
So why BLET, Jacob?
I want to be a police officer in law enforcement, particularly a deputy sheriff for Davidson County Sheriff's Office. Hopefully, that's undecided. But all my classmates, they're wonderful. Julia, she's one of them. Some of the other ones are in there. They're not students of Davidson County, but again, we're all here for the same reason.
Thank you, Jacob. Julia?
Hello, I'm Julia Sessions. I'm also majoring in criminal justice and enrolled in the basic law enforcement training program as well. This is my second year and I'll be graduating after completion of this class.
So tell us a little bit about why you chose to go to BLET when you were already in criminal justice. What was the crossover? What made you decide that?
So I do want to become a police officer, but my main goal is to become a homicide investigator. I like to have the criminal justice background to help me further my career.
Thank you. And Chris?
My name is Christopher Cooper. I actually graduated from the Computer Integrated Machining program back in 2019.
So Chris, tell us a little bit, your pathway's a little bit different. Talk about your high school experience and how you came to us here at the community college.
I actually started at Valley Academy over near where the old Davis Townsend used to be. And through that program, it was a STEM-based program, which enabled me to gain more career and technical education along with learning how to network and have soft skills from as early as freshman year in high school, where I transitioned over to community college around sophomore year and was able to complete my program by the 5-year mark, going the extra year beyond my senior year.
And currently, tell us what you're doing.
Currently, I am a senior at A&T State University in Greensboro, where I take applied engineering technology, and I'm actually working in the industry locally in Davie County at Ingersoll Rand as a machinist. But I aspire to be in engineering, and my long-term goal is actually be in management in the next 5 years.
Thank you, Chris. Jacob, tell us a little bit about your college experience and how it's prepared you for the workforce.
My college experience has been really positive since I've been here. All mine mostly has been online. I work full-time in retail management, so it has been very nice to be able to do that because, a lot of teachers here understand that, you forget something or, you just worked 10 or 12 hours that day and you come home and it's like, oh, whoops, I forgot to submit that paper. They were willing to, extend it a little bit or help you out in just whatever way. The college, unfortunately, no, I was here during COVID, so there's not as many opportunities, but there still are plenty. We get weekly updates and emails about programs and stuff that's going on at the college and that you can be involved in.
Okay, thank you. And a little bit about, you just mentioned, tell us the balance you had to have going online and, working full-time.
The balance is, kind of hard. I mean, I know a lot of people don't normally work full-time and go to school full-time, but there are plenty of people here that do that. And it makes it challenging, but, with the help of teachers and staff here, you have your counselors, especially the criminal justice counselor for us. She's great. She is very nice, and she's willing to, make a lot of time for you to, since I work full-time, of course, she's willing to work around your schedule, pretty much anything.
Thank you. And Julia, tell us a little bit about your college experience and how it's prepared you.
Especially in my criminal justice program, throughout all the learning objectives we've done, it really tries to play a part in modern day and real life experiences that can happen and have had happen. In our BLET program, they do that now. They always bring in today's cases and past experience that have happened. Like, this could happen to you, and what would you do in this situation? So they always try to give us as real as possible experiences in case we come in contact with those dilemmas.
Well, want to put you on the spot. Favorite class? Don't worry, all of your instructors are watching currently. So, what's been your favorite class so far?
I think right now in the BLET program are arrest, seizure, and constitutional law because of our teacher, Chief Andrade. He's really eccentric and he's very engaging in the class, and he always has amazing stories to tell us, and he always dresses like he's from Miami Vice. So it's very fun.
Very true, very true. And Chris?
During my time at Davidson, especially with COVID going on, and it just started up right as I presume finished up. My college experience, it was a little bit different than most can say, working full-time, going to school full-time, being that I started my full-time position while in high school and full-time at the college. So that definitely has aided in preparing me for the workforce. Being able to handle not only a larger workload, but to gain the soft skills that I needed to get started with that. And most importantly, the internships, to gain the hands-on experience from early on. That was probably the most important or significant portion of it, because it enabled me to transition into a higher role or to come in with experience and to be able to hit the ground running from day one.
Talk a little bit more about your internship, who you done it with, and how it prepared you.
I actually had the privilege to do more than one throughout my time at the community college. I worked with Davidson County Schools, the transportation department, helping them with buses throughout my senior year, and I also had the privilege to job shadow with Richard Childress Racing in Welcome in their machine shop. And then from there, on top of that, I then got in contact with Ingersoll Rand in Knoxville and started an internship there, which it was actually a full-time employment, but I considered it my internship through school, and that's where I still reside as of today.
Thank you. And if y'all would slide your mics a little bit closer. If you're in class, this wouldn't be a problem, so please, Jacob, tell us a little bit about any hands-on experience or learning opportunities you've had out in the field, whether that be, internship, anything like that. Tell us some experience that you've currently had.
Unfortunately, since COVID started, and again, I work most of the time, I have not really had that much opportunities, just time-wise. I mean, it's not like they haven't been presented, they have. It's just I wasn't able to do them, to be honest.
So who is your, what department are you associated with?
That I'm sponsored by?
Sponsor, excuse me.
Davidson County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. And Julia?
I think it goes the same for me as well because of COVID, not been able to really get out there as much and take part in internships or anything. But I'm currently applying for an early hire for Lexington Police Department, so that way I can still kind of get their leadership as well as I'm going through the program.
Great. And Chris, you've kind of touched on a little bit your experience also, but anything else?
To add on to that, that's mainly most of it through my current company that I'm with now. Now within Ingersoll Rand, I've had the privilege to cross-train and do various roles within that. I started out in machining through various processes, and then I had the opportunity to do an internship for a semester to aid into my engineering pathway that I'm working towards in their assembly and test, to where we would bring in the final units to be ready to ship out, and right before that we would test them, validate their results, so that way the customer is given a good product out the door, and as well to be a part of some of the customer witness testing.
Great, thank you. And Jacob, we've touched again a little bit about the pandemic, but tell me, what has been your biggest challenge, and how have you fought through this, learning curve that we all are going through as a society?
Everybody's been affected by the pandemic. That is really true. Stress is a really big one. School does offer a lot of programs like counselors, people you can talk to. Another thing is financial. The school has been a massive help financially. I'm gonna be honest, like I wouldn't have been able to be here, especially for the BLET program. I mean, it's not cheap if you don't have financial aid or grants or school resources that you're like, here's money for food, or, oh, look, your car broke down on the way to school. Here's, you can use that money for that, or just whatever your expenses need be. But there's just been a lot of challenges. Like I said, everybody's had to face them for COVID, but it has been challenging going to school. But Davidson County has helped a lot with various things.
Okay, thank you. Julia?
I think for me personally, it was the interaction with teachers and students I wasn't able to get. And so sometimes you feel like maybe the teachers don't care as much because you're not there with them. They're not able to personally help you. But when I was just doing criminal justice, one of my teachers, Chief Norton, he personally called me anytime my grades were slipping because he was really concerned. He's like, I just want the best for you. I want you to be able to pass this class and learn. And he tried to work with me the best they could to be able to get my grades up to where they should have been. So.
Right, good. And Chris?
For me, it was actually two different perspectives, both positive and on the negative. To start with the negative, as to what my colleagues have said, the lack of hands-on, or not hands-on, but in-person time with other students and organizations, and just being able to be together in person to really soak up the material and to learn, that was probably the biggest challenge. Now, one of the positives to COVID, at least for certain students that work full-time and go to school full-time, it has enabled me to better manage the workload, where currently I'm taking 6 classes and working 40 hours a week. It has been a great enabler for that, and allow me to also still manage to have some personal time as well, and to even work on pursuing other things.
Okay, thank you. And Jacob, tell us a little something. At this point, you're working, but not in law enforcement quite yet. But tell us something that you think is going to benefit you the most when you actually go into that role and you're protecting and serving our community that you've learned here at the college.
The experiences in BLT are major. Talk about hands-on experience. You literally get to put your hands on someone and learn how to handle the experience. That was one thing they told us, like, if you're not comfortable doing that, this might not be for you. And that's not for everybody. But I think it's prepared me, just having a 2-year degree going into law enforcement, that's automatically, a little more money added to that. And it makes a difference. It's also more experience, especially with like learning the laws and stuff like that. It makes it a lot more easier to be able to do that.
Great. Julia?
I think what best is learning about community policing. It was Chief Brumage. He taught us that if it weren't for the people, we wouldn't really be able to do our job as well. They're the ones that contact us and help us with information, be able to find these people out there. If it just weren't for the tactics that we learned how to communicate with the community and people the best, we wouldn't be able to do our job as good as we could.
Great. And Chris?
The best part for me was just the hands-on experience, being able to actually be put into situations to where I can build my confidence with what I'm doing, where at first they show me, I watch them, and then I'm able to try it on my own. If I mess up or fail, they're right there. And then once I do that, then I can continue to do it and to learn and grow. But it allows me to have a sort of a safety net to catch me while I'm able to build up confidence, so I can do it on my own proficiently.
Okay, great. And I didn't ask you, Chris, but favorite course during your time at the college?
Favorite course, probably advanced CNC milling.
Why is that?
Just being able to watch the 5-axis machine run.
So you can explain to everybody what a 5-axis machine is?
Okay, so a normal CNC machine, or what I say is normal, is X, Y, and Z, which Z is your up and down, and then as many of you guys may be familiar with a graph, you have your X and Y plane. It works the same in machining. So for the way I'm facing, Y would be from me to Dr. Brown, and then X would be from me to the glass wall over there, and then Z would be your up and down. the fourth and the fifth axis, which is your A and your B, your A is going to be spinning this way, and your B is going to be spinning this way. And then the simultaneous 5-axis is where all axes are moving at one time while the cutter head is cutting and shaping. Let's say I wanted to make a globe of some kind. I could take it and just sit there and then go all the way around it, and it would be exactly the same depth all the way around. It would look exact.
Have you ever worked with anything above a 5-axis?
Not yet. I have witnessed it, and during a job shadow, I watched a 9-axis machine.
That was at Richard Childress.
Richard Childress.
Yeah.
They have one of the, I think, only one of those machines on this side of the hemisphere.
Great, great. So at this time, I do want to open up to the audience. If you have any questions for our panel, please feel free to ask.
The best advice I would give is, because I came to this community college trying to get an associate in science, so something completely different. So it's okay if you don't know what you want to do, or you think that you're certain that this is something you want to do, because it could definitely change. And I always think it could always be for the better, because now I'm going in something that I really do love, and I think will benefit me and the community the best, I'm going to say.
To add what to Julia said, get involved as early as possible. I'm 24 years old. I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was 18 at all. I grew up in a family that was not really focused on school, let's just say that. It's either you can go to college or you don't have to. And I didn't really know that much about it. I just knew it's like, oh, do good in school, go to a college, get a degree. It doesn't matter if you like it or not, just do it. And when I got here, a lot of the teachers helped me get through that to decide. But get involved in clubs, things like that. Don't be afraid to go out there and just do stuff. Because that was something I missed in high school. I sat in back class, quiet kid, went to school, went home. Didn't get involved in anything. And unfortunately, due to COVID, I couldn't really get involved in a lot of stuff. But, I still got to experience stuff in class, though.
Well, let me follow up with that for anybody can answer this. Was there ever like that aha moment of when the light bulb turned on and you're like, yeah, this is what I want to do and this is why?
Yeah, I think that was when I got into criminal justice, like the first day I got here with orientation. I kind of had a vague idea. I knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't really know how to go about that. And again, the counselors here, the career counselors really helped me to decide what I wanted to do. They were like, well, maybe you should get into this. And I took a few classes in criminal justice, and it was like, okay, I could do this. This sounds really nice.
Great. Anybody else in the audience have a question?
If you could go back to your high school days, what do you wish someone had told you before you graduated that would lead you to whatever path you're on now?
I would say to take internships from freshman year every semester, if possible, in some form or way, even if it's outside of school on your own time, of trying to get into a company of some sort, because that's going to be what gets you the furthest, the quickest with that. Because companies want people with hands-on experience, or even without hands-on experience, for different roles. But internships, and plus you can find out what you truly like, because just looking at it on a screen, and watching it, you say, well, I might want to do that. But then when you actually get to try it, you can really decide if that's what you want to do. And allowing students to be able to do that as early as possible is probably the best bet.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in our student panel. And I would just like to take a couple minutes to wrap up. And, as we move forward, again, like I said, a lot of exciting things we've talked about today. You guys and girls did a great job, so thank you again for participating in this. And we know we've got some quality quality employees coming to our communities with y'all. So again, thank you. I do want to say, as we move forward, a couple things that I didn't mention when I had the time earlier. Some programs that we're currently either developing or starting here in the near future in our career and technical education programs. So one thing we're excited about is adding on to our IT program is cloud computing. So we're getting that started. So we're very excited about that as we see things now. Constantly everything is saved on the cloud, or it's from the cloud. And what is the cloud? I don't know, but we've got people who can teach that. So very excited about that. Also excited to announce our Sustainable Ag program that we'll be beginning next year. As we look along our region, and one thing I think we all can say through the pandemic is, food security has been a huge issue all over the country. And, we have less and less farmers, agricultural producers, and we rely more for imports than we ever have before in the history of our country. So I do think it's important that we do start that program and get that up and running. So excited about that. I will tell you, we have jumped off within the last 6 months, and we're excited to announce we've started a Latino Hispanic program. So we're going to focus specifically on that community through our continuing education programs. Again, we realize as a college we were underserving that segment of our population, and we know from our census data it is our fastest growing population. So how do we serve them, and how do we get them workforce ready? So again, if you have ideas and want to partner with us, please see me about that, because we're excited to get that going. Also, having a discussion with our Dean, Tim Gwillem, and our truck driver training coordinator, Jeff Ferguson, yesterday. We've got some laws that are changing here in the next week when it comes to truck driver training. And, the endorsements and everything, you're going to have to get those through a certified school. So we can see a huge expansion in our truck driver training program here in the next, really, month. So we're going to try to figure out how do we get out in front of that to meet the needs of our business and industry, because I can tell you supply chain right now is upside down. And so we're going to try to work hard and figure that out. I'd also like to say one of the things I was most interested when I came to the college and said I would want to incorporate, and thankfully we're able to do, is start to bring in some virtual reality, augmented reality simulation into our programs. So we're excited that we've been able to secure some VR, AR for our really a crossover from all of our programs through anatomy and advanced manufacturing through a company called Z-Space. So next level learning experiences for our students that we're really, really excited about. And then also, I don't know if y'all have been told, but we're able to buy a de-escalation simulator for our law enforcement programs. So, when I talk with my criminal justice faculty and staff, at the end of the day, you too will be faced with a lot of challenges, and I hope you never have to pull your gun, just to be honest. But if you do, if we don't train our law enforcement how to de-escalate, then we're not doing our job. So it is a virtual reality experience. It's a 180-degree screen. It's as real as you can get. You have live weapons without bullets. It has cartridges, but it's, Tim and I have experienced it and seen it firsthand. And basically, we have a trainer that can, how you react to the situation, they give commands, and it's just a great tool. So we're excited. We'll have that up and running by the end of the semester, in which will bring in a lot of opportunities not only for our BLET students, but also our local law enforcement agencies, because they are excited that we're securing this and they can train their current officers in how to de-escalate in situations. So with that being said, again, I can't thank everyone enough for being here. It has been an honor and a pleasure to present this, and I can't say enough. We want to align as a community, and we want to build a sustainable workforce for all of you in our business and industry. And I will tell you, there is no business too big, no business too small for us to work with. We take them all here at the community college, and we want that. And please do not be afraid to reach out to us, and if there's any way possible we can help, that is our job, and we will do that job for you. So I'm excited for the future of career and technical education, and on behalf of our president, Dr. Darren Hartness, our board of trustees, and our faculty and staff here at Davidson-Davie Community College, we appreciate your time this morning and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
I don't know what psychotic means, really, clinically. I don't know.
It will be on the screen.
Nervous?
If you take that, we really do value your feedback, and we look to do